Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Punishing Dumb Ass Openings. Now, got a special one today. This is a submission by a Chess Bootcamp Live member. I haven't seen the game. I don't know which player is which. I don't know whether our hero is got the white pieces or the black pieces. But let's see what happens. So I'm looking at this with you for the first time. Okay. So I'm already surprised. This apparently is the Saragossa opening with 1c3. Okay, so from the top, what's wrong with this opening? Well, what are your objectives in the opening phase of the game? Well, you want to get your minor pieces out into the board. You want to control as much of the center as possible. Okay, that's the first thing. You want to get your king castled. You want to connect your rooks by developing your queen somewhere. Now, 1c3 helps you to develop your queen to one of these three squares. Okay, it controls one central square out of a possible 4. So as things go, it's pretty weak. Now, c3 is a move that is seen in many openings, like the Ponziani, like the Alpine Sicilian, for example, even the Danish Gambit, but not on move 1. Normally on move 1 what we do is we try and control the center, either with one of the central pawns or with one of our knights, usually the king's knight. So this is already poor. So I've got a hunch that white is the dumbass here. Let's see. Okay, black responds with e5, and all I can see on the side is how many wins there are from this position. Black does better than white. Okay. Right, this has echoes of Fool's Mate, but of course it's not because it's on the wrong side of the board, but okay. Right. Okay, my suspicions are somewhat confirmed. Okay, now moving this pawn makes sense in many openings, right? Like Queen's Indian kind of position where you want to fianchetto your bishop on b2 or b7 in the case of black. The problem with this opening is that while white can now put his bishop on b2 or a3, its view of the board is blocked. So that is just ridiculous. So what would I do here as black? I would develop a knight, or I would take advantage and probably play d5. Okay, black develops a knight, queen's knight, defending this pawn, which is not under attack, and now a3. Okay, I see a theme here. So all of white's pawns on the queen side are now on dark squares. And again, right, this knight is not developed. This knight can't actually go anywhere. This bishop can't get out into the board because it's still blocked in. You only have to move 2 pawns to get all your minor pieces out in the board, right? You have to move either this one or this one to allow this bishop out, and either this one or this one to allow this bishop out. And white has done, well, you know, he's moved the b pawn, but he's then stuck it in the way. In fact, he's with a3, he's now given this bishop only 1 square where it can look at the back of a pawn's head for the rest of the game. Black, of course, goes and occupies the center. I wonder what we're going to find next. Oh, e3. Another dark squared pawn move, but to white's credit, this bishop suddenly has a magnificent view of the board. It can't go to this square, obviously, but it can come here and it can't go there. So this bishop now has a choice of 3 squares, which white has managed to achieve with no fewer than 4 pawn moves. Okay, out comes the other knight. This is exactly the right thing to do. If you're faced with a dumbass, you just stick to your guns, guys. Just stick to principles, right? Look at black's control over the center. This square, this square, this square, this square, right? All of these. This square twice. This square twice. The pawn is defended. The pawn is defended. The pawn is defended. And what's more, this bishop can get out into the board, and so can this one to a degree. To a degree. I mean, the dark squared pawn chain is bound to have some influence over the game. Okay, what the flying circus is this? Okay, he's made another pawn move. All right, so the knight's going to come back to e7. Ah, there he goes. I've no idea what even the rating is of this play with the white pieces. This would, like, if Levy Rosman was looking at this and guessed the ELO, he'd be throwing up his hand saying, I've no idea. He's only moved it again. Okay, A takes, opening up the file, there we go. And now D4. This is move 8. And white has made 8 pawn moves. We know this because all the rest of his junk is still in the box. I've got an over-the-board match tonight. I hope my opponent plays this opening. Okay, black develops a bishop, obvs. Oh! Suddenly, white has scrolled down and realised there's another whole row of pieces that was off the screen. That's all I can think. He's developed a piece, guys. Hold the front page. A piece has entered the game. And obviously, next minor piece. Off we go. And knight A3. The classic move. Okay, well the knight might be on its way here. We could push a pawn, but I think black's going to castle. I honestly do. There we go. Right. I suspect that the player with the black pieces is my friend Tucker, because he's been very well trained. Okay, in comes the knight. So white is now so carried away with developing his minor pieces, he wants to keep developing the same ones even more. There's a slight risk here of knight takes bishop messing up our pawn structure. So, I mean, would I be tempted to take here? Because if takes, pawn takes isn't playable because it hangs the rook. Okay, so if they take here and bishop takes, we can actually push c6 and kick the bishop back. There you go. Simplicity itself. What's more, we have this, and should the bishop decide to come back here, we then have e4. Look at that, shutting that bishop right out of the game. Okay, so it comes all the way back to e2. And okay, this is interesting. So the bishop can't take here because it gets lost. The pawn can't take because the rook hangs. Why does the rook hang, by the way? Let me think. Is it because this stupid bishop's still in the way? What move are we on? 13! It takes 8 moves, 8, to complete development. Knobhead here has had 13 moves, and this is still where it started. This is still where it started. This bloke should have been put away safely, and Her Majesty should be out in the board causing trouble. And instead, he's been dicking about with pawns. Out comes the queen. Why? What are we going to do? Take the pawn? I don't know. For the first time, I don't know what black's going to do. I'd be very tempted to push that, you know. I mean, here we do. No, we can't. He still can't take with this because the rook's still hanging because the bishop's. Oh, what's the idea with this? Well, I mean, it's a nice. It's not an outpost because f3 is playable, but it's getting a knight in. He's got his king nice and safe. Interesting. I've already said it, right? Stupid bishop, completely blocked in by his own stupid pawns and a stupid dark squared pawn structure. If you want to play the London system, play the bleeding London. Don't, you know, he's ended up with a. I mean, that's not even Milton Keynes. That's not even inside the M25. What the hell is this? Jesus wept. Okay, out comes the queen. We're kind of ignoring this stupidity going on the queen side here. Oh! I spy with my little eye something beginning with checkmate threat. It's not actually checkmate threat because the king's got d1 any, but it's not pretty. Knight blocks. White's minor pieces are just flying out into the board now. If we take here with a knight and the king takes, you can push the pawn to e4, winning that knight. Just a thought. Planting seeds. Okay. Oh, that's a distraction. If the knight takes here, we capture on f2 with check. King has to go to d1 and then we come back and win the knight. Okay, white decides to trade off pawns in the centre. Yeah. Great idea. Open up the centre of the board while your king is uncastled. And why is our king uncastled, boys and girls? Well, you have to rewind and find out. Okay. Got two attackers on this pawn. It's defended twice. That's not really an issue. Knight could take... Then we come in with check and, I don't know. Castles! Okay. As black from the wrong side of the board, what are we going to do? Be very tempted to take out this knight and then just kind of swing the queen over and try and checkmate him. Take out the knight. Bishop retreats. What's this one, Tucker? Why not queen here or queen here, threatening to mate on h2? That's a peculiar move, but hey ho. c4 is so all white's activities on the wrong side of the board. You could swing your knight round and harass this bishop, but I don't see a major point to it. Or you could just come in here and fork the queen and rook. There's a thought. Okay. Now he's got the checkmate threat, but he's still got the fork. Oh, for fuck's sake. I'm sorry. I'm having a Levy moment. What the? Okay. White loses. I'm going to have a look at the game review. Okay, my guess that Elo... I mean, honestly, I'd give him 400, probably. I don't really know what 400 means at that level, but let's have a look at the review. And black, 60%. Are you having a joke? 60% accuracy. How are any? He's giving him 1,000. Oh, come on, guys. Hands up, who's lower than 1,000 that could beat this muppet? Bollocks. Okay, this is already an yeah. E3 is the best move, apparently. Look at that. Okay, so he just gives up a pawn for no reason. Oh no. Okay, he's found some of the best moves to his credit. B5, nice. Yeah. And another mistake. And black played 1600. And that's a missed win. Okay, what was there here then? From this position, what did we miss? I don't know. It's not obvious. What is it? Simplify, open up the centre when your opponent's king is uncastled and yours is castled. Wow. And after that, it's -6 in black's favour. But anyway, here we come. Right, let's get rid of my drawings. And that's okay. And that's best move. Recaptures. Yeah, this miss, I don't know what that was. That's the inexplicable move, really. But then that's just crazy, and that is just fucking stupid, to be fair. Well, 1,000, no fish, bad fish. I don't know. I'm stunned. I'm saddened. I can't find the words to express how badly white played that game. Well, if you're in the 200 to 400 range, like to play with the white pieces here, then take heed. But I mean, Tucker, thank you. But at the same time, that was painful, mate. That was horrible. I never want to see it again. Okay. And if you've watched this video, I can only apologise, but I'm going to stick it up anyway. Why not? Here you go. Thank you for joining me in punishing dumbass openings. See you later.